Hello everyone, welcome to the Utkarsh Parasha show. Today we have a special guest named CA Rahul Ranjan. Rahul is a chartered accountant and also an IFRS diploma holder. He currently serves as an assistant manager at Protiviti Middle East, a member firm in Dubai, in their risk and compliance division. So thank you so much, sir, for accepting my invitation and coming up on the show. It's a huge honor for me to interact with you today.
Thank you, Kurs, for inviting me to your show. Looking forward to it.
So before we get started, Rahul, can you define yourself in just one word?
Ambitious.
Okay. So let's start with a current job market scenario for chartered accountants in the UAE. Like, what's the landscape like? Like, what opportunities do you see for fresh CA graduates?
I have known many fresh Indian chartered accountants who come here as a fresher. So they are into audit and accounting roles as well as taxation. So there are in UAE there are many mid-sized CA firms or even big fours. So either they are into stat audit, internal audit, or in taxation you have value-added tax. So a lot of opportunities are there for Indian CAs in VAT. And recently, UAE introduced corporate income tax. So the demand for Indian CAs is increasing day by day. Um, uh, so the demand for transfer pricing professionals as well as international taxation professionals is also
Right.
growing in UAE. So Indian chartered accountants who have just cleared, they have good opportunities in taxation right now. There are many other fields, but
Mhm.
taxation is something because corporate tax, income tax is in CA final syllabus. So Indian chartered accountants can come up and learn the corporate tax of UAE easily. So they have a good chance of getting a job anyway.
All right. So let's dive into some salary talk. Like, for our audience, what's the scene for entry level CAs in terms of compensation in the UAE?
So it depends. So for fresher, if they are into big fours, they can join as a entry level associate consultant or consultant. So they can expect something between 11,000 to 12,000 dirhams per month.
Mhm.
Whereas the mid-sized CA firms, they offer around 6,000 to 7,000 dirhams per month.
Wh-
And most important, there is no personal income tax. So the whatever salary you
mhm.
get, it's in hand.
What about like experienced professionals?
Totally depends on the kind of experience and the number of years of experience and to which domain their experience is. If the experience is join in banking or insurance, like a financial services sector,
Mhm.
so the pay is much higher. Okay, depends on which department. If they are joining to risk department, so the pay is always higher. Accounting, the pay will be little lesser as the demand. There are a lot of accounting professionals in UAE, so there is always the demand and supply concept is there.
Okay.
So they can expect anything between 15,000 to 2025. Like sky is the limit, depending on your experience you get.
Okay. Got it. So, can you briefly share what a typical day look like for you as a consultant, and also tell us about like your expertise in IFRS implementation and the role of risk advisory consulting in your work?
So for your first question, how a day looks like.
Yeah.
So it starts with meetings early morning. I think maybe around 8 a.m., 9 a.m. I start my day generally. Sometimes if there is a lot of work, I even start a bit early. But usually I start my day at 8 or 9 a.m. So I'm based out of Dubai, so I have work from home, or I travel to client place, and
Acha.
I travel to Saudi frequently. So if you call me, most of the time I am at the airport
Acha.
traveling between Dubai and Saudi. So my day looks like that. Not only Saudi, but other GCC countries also, like Qatar, Bahrain. I keep on
Mm.
traveling. So it's been 5 years for me in Dubai, and traveling is one of the most important part of consulting. You have to travel a lot. So
Right.
yeah, the day starts with a lot of meetings or team meetings or client meetings, and it ends at sometimes it ends at 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Sometimes it goes to 10. So it depends on the work. Like in consulting, it's always busy.
Okay.
Okay, so I will give you a brief background about how I got into IFRS and then
Mm-hmm.
my experience.
Right.
So before clearing a CA final, I had cleared a diploma in IFRS from ACCA UK.
Yeah.
So after clearing the CA, I got a job in Dubai via LinkedIn. So that was into IFRS 17 implementation. So
Okay.
that standard is for insurance companies, and it got implemented in 22-23. It
Okay.
delayed. It was supposed to be implemented in I think 21, then it delayed to 22 and then 23.
Right.
So it was a long journey of 5 years where we did all the gap analysis for insurance companies. Earlier, there was IFRS 4. So I was implementing IFRS 17. So there was gap analysis, and there was design and impact assessment, and then final implementation. So that is one area for which I was hired uh, in the consulting firm. It was Financial Accounting Advisory Services in
Okay.
MMGS Consulting Dubai. So IFRS 17 was one, but apart from that, there were a few other IFRS standards which were about to be introduced. Like IFRS 9 was already introduced,
Mm-hmm.
then IFRS 15 was there, and IFRS 16. So I have experience in implementing all these standards.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that, interest consulting. After 3 years, I moved
Mm-hmm.
to Protiviti Dubai. So I joined their risk and compliance department
Yeah.
in Dubai. So my role is into conducting operational risk assessment, fraud risk assessment for banks, insurance companies, designing corporate governance frameworks for companies in the Middle East.
Okay.
Um, there is a lot of work. Like I'm also working on anti-money laundering
Mm-hmm.
regulations as there in UAE. So a lot of work on the AML side. Also started to do some work on the ESG front as well. So risk and
Nice.
compliance is a huge field, and there is a lot of work. There's a lot of regulations in the Central Bank of UAE or the Saudi Central Bank, SAMA. They issue a lot of regulations on the risk side and the risk and compliance side. So uh, the work is all about we have to learn a lot. Okay,
Okay.
because a lot of things are coming day in and day out. As a consultant, you have to be updated with the latest trends which is there in the market. So yeah, this is how my day looks like and what I do in risk
Aw-
advisory.
Awesome. So let's talk about networking. So could you stress the importance of like networking in professional context, and do you have any specific like strategies or tips for our listeners on effective networking?
So first job was through LinkedIn. Second job, Protiviti. I had not even applied. There was no job opening. There was no official job opening which was posted. Neither I have applied.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my client referred me to someone at Protiviti. I got a call from there. So both my jobs, they asked me whether I want to switch. You're looking for a new job. So
Mm-hmm.
this is how I bagged the job at Protiviti. So these two,
Okay.
I'll say, whatever jobs, these two jobs I got through networking only. So it's one of the most important aspect of a job search. And if you want to grow in career, you have to definitely network with a lot of people in your profession.
Right.
Your second question on strategy, I will
Mm-hmm.
say be active on LinkedIn, connect with a lot of people in your profession, connect with your batchmates overseas, connect with them. Also, there is a lot of events for CAs keep on happening.
Right.
So you should go there and join, meet people. These are few ways you can build your network.
Moving on to the ESG. So first off, could you explain what ESG for our audience?
ESG has three aspects. E
Mm-hmm.
stands for environmental, S stands for social, and G stands for governance. So environmental means how a company manages the environmental risk, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, what kind of impact they are making on the environment, and what they are doing to reduce the carbon footprints, and what they are doing to mitigate the climate change risk. So
Okay.
these things are covered under environmental aspect of ESG, and S social, as I told, it depends how the company interacts with its employees, with its suppliers, vendors, customers, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then the G part, which includes governance, how the company processes, practices, and controls. How are the governance in simple words? I will explain how a company takes effective decisions. Okay. how they manage and run their company efficiently, how they interact with their stakeholders. So
Okay.
these aspects are covered under governance.
Okay. So, like, what predictions do you have how market will evolve in relation to ESG? Like,
So sustainability is the hot topic now
mm,
everywhere. In a
yeah.
way, there is a lot of demand of sustainability professionals right now. Like the demand for CAs are there in sustainability reporting. There is increased government focus on
Hmm.
ESG issues, whether companies are what companies are trying to mitigate climate change risk, social, environmental aspect risk, governance risk. So there is some regulatory reportings also. The companies, the government is focusing on the regulatory reporting on ESG parameters, as well as investors nowadays. They are looking at taking ESG considerations while investing. They're looking into ESG metrics, and also I think there is a huge demand for Indian CAs there in sustainability reporting and financial advisory on sustainable practices, etc.
Okay. What do you
Also,
think?
consumers,
Yeah.
yeah, consumers are also becoming aware about sustainability and ethically sustainable products. They want to buy sustainable products. Consumers are also becoming aware nowadays.
Okay. Okay. Fantastic. Like, note. So, what are your thoughts on traveling, and how does it fit into your life? And do you find like it adds a unique perspective to your experience, both personally and professionally?
So, see, in consulting, you get to travel a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there are times where I spend my weekends in Dubai and weekdays are in Saudi or any other GCC countries. So, yeah, someone who loves traveling, consulting is for them. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for them to travel frequently. Like I know my colleagues who are from Big Fours also, they are traveling frequently. I meet everyone at the airport. Okay, so this is how we travel. So yeah, you get to know a lot about the other country, the culture while you travel. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so and whenever I get a chance, like in long holidays, I try to travel to different countries. Okay, because you get to explore new things, and traveling is my hobby. I love to travel, so my job also provides me that opportunity. And on long holidays, 4 to 5 days, if I get a holiday, I try to visit a different country.
Okay. Awesome. So it's the last question. So, what do you think success, and like what is success for you basically?
I will say for me, success means whether I'm happy what I'm doing. If I'm happy, if my job makes me happy, if I'm happy, I think that is success for me. Whatever I want in life, if I'm able to achieve that, and if that makes me happy, yeah, that is success for me.
That's nice.
So I will say success is equal to happiness.
Okay,
If I'm having a high paying job and I'm not happy, then that's not success for me.
correct. So it's time to end up this podcast. Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable time. And
Thanks for this.
thanks for listening, everyone. If you enjoyed this episode, you would like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social media, and leave a rating and review. To catch all the latest from me, you can follow me on Instagram _Utkarsh Parasar, and also follow CA Rahul Ranjan on Instagram. And thanks again. I'll see you next time. If you wanna say,
Please like, share, and comment on the videos. Okay, and if you find the content helpful, uh, do drop me a text on LinkedIn or Instagram. Okay,
thanks.
but yeah, I'll take some time to reply. So maybe a week or 10 days, but I will definitely reply.
Thank you so much.